be seen on it, but this is the important part when we're talking about the research paper, okay? So you do not have to pick one of the topics that's on the back side. Here, I'll show you the back side here in just a second. I listed out a whole bunch of different ones, okay? So you do not have to pick one of those. You can pick a topic on your own. So I have had students who are in the nursing program, they picked something healthcare related, like examining the healthcare system in a sociological way. I have had athletes in my class looking at the sociology of sport, which here's a teaser, okay? If you're struggling to figure out what you want to choose for your paper, use the book as a guide, okay? Open up the table of contents, wherever it is, and see if there is a topic in there that interests you. I allow it up to you because I realize if you're writing about something that you like or you desire or something you're passionate about, it's going to be less cumbersome for you. So please, you know, feel free to go through the chapters and see if there's something that inspires you. The other thing is if you pick a topic that's covered in the book, when it comes to writing your research paper, you can use your book as a source as part of your paper too. So make things easy on yourself, okay? Pick something in here and it's just gonna be a lot smoother process for you, okay? So yeah, that's the paper topic part of it. So your paper needs to be 5 to 7 pages. You can use Emma, MA, APA, MLA. I add ASA on there. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But these are just the different ways that you're going to cite your paper. Okay, so it's that works cited page, that reference page at the end where you're going to list out all of your sources. It's how you do those in-text citations. If you're giving me deer and headlights look right now, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through on how to do all of that. Okay, it's coming. But I let you decide. Most college papers use APA, and APA stands for the American Psychological Association, okay? So remember when I said last week that psychology is kind of like our tradition? There you go. But if in high school you wrote a research paper, it's very likely that you used MLA style, okay? So 5 to 7 pages, 5 to 7 pages of writing. That doesn't include your sources and all of that. 5 to 7 pages of writing. So I will help you through this process. So if you take a peek at this again, you'll notice in that course outline, I have your research paper broken up into chunks. One, I am forcing you to start working on it early. I have been in your seats before and have waited to the last minute to write a research paper. You don't want to do that, okay? But I'm going to be here to help. So you'll notice, actually next week, you're going to give me your topic. You're probably thinking, how am I supposed to know what my topic is next week? Well, guess what? This is me forcing you just to take that first step, okay? So you can pick a topic next week, and in a few weeks when I ask you to start working on the sources, so the next step is going to be giving me your first 3 sources that you might use. Let's say you're giving me your topic next week, and then whenever you get to turning in the next part, which is February 9th, which is a little less than a month from now, you can change your topic, okay? You can come to me and say, hey, Laura, I tried to find sources for this topic, can't find anything. Or I picked a topic that was way too big and I'm finding way too much and I don't know how to narrow it down. That's okay. You are not married to these topics, okay? Again, 1, I'm breaking this up into parts to get you started, taking baby steps through it. And as you see, every time you submit something, like submit your topic, I'm giving you points for doing it. So then whenever you take the next step, which is looking up sources, I'm giving you 15 points for doing that. So it seems like a huge project, which it is. You know, the total is 225 points, but that 225 is all these baby steps that we're taking too. And then you're going to turn in your outline, and then you're going to turn in your rough draft, and the final draft will be worth 150 points. But all along the way, when you're turning in the topic, when you're turning in your sources, I'm going to be giving you feedback. and kind of helping you guide in this process as well. The other thing is if you notice in the course outline, so your first 3 sources is due February the 9th, but if you look at the week before, guess what? We're gonna work on those sources in class, and I'm gonna show you how to look them up. I'm gonna give you tips. So this really is something that we're gonna do together, because I realize that from teaching this class so many semesters, there are a lot of students that have never done this before, or maybe did it 5 years ago, or maybe I did it in high school, but I did a terrible job. You know, we're gonna work on this together, okay? So I don't want you to be afraid about this project, okay? So you will notice, let me go to Canvas. You can't, oh, wait a minute. So you won't, you yourselves don't see this yet because I have this stuff hidden from you, but there will be places along the way. Let me look at week 3. I guess I didn't need to scroll that far. So in week 3, whenever you get to your assignment part, it's gonna say, there's gonna be a place where you're gonna put your research paper topic in there, okay? So you'll notice whenever it says submit, let's go back to the thing here. So when we start thinking about your topic, so I want you just to take some time while you're driving, while you're working, think about your topic, okay? Look through the book. Speaking of the book, I put out an announcement. The bookstore says that there's copies of this coming. So if you want a book and you ordered it from the bookstore and it's not in yet, it should be coming soon. They also have copies of the ebook. But I'm here to tell you, you can get an old version of this if you want to. I can't remember what's on the front of the older version, but an older version will work as well. When you submit this, notice that I write, I don't want just your topic. I want to know why you chose it. Because if you tell me that your topic is vaccinations, because you're going into nursing and you're really interested in this coronavirus, this new vaccine, learning more about it and how our healthcare systems adapt into it, it's telling me a little bit about you and why you like this topic. So then later on, let's say you kind of go on a tangent and then you start struggling, I can go back to, well, I know this is why you want it. Maybe we can tweak it a little bit to make it easier for you, and it'll kind of give me some history on it. So when you turn in your topic, I want to know not only what your topic is, but why you chose it, okay? So that's a little bit about the research paper. Does anyone have any questions about it right now off the top of your head? No? Okay. Well, if you do come up with some questions tonight or laying in bed tonight when you're trying to go to sleep, shoot me an email and we'll talk about it, okay? So a copy of this, let me go back to Canvas here. Find the right one. There it is. Okay, let's go to week 2. So under week 2, you're going to notice that for this week, so under week 2, there's going to be the lecture outline, and I'm going to open that and show you that in a minute. But there's also this selection called Research Paper Guidelines and Helpful Tools. So let me share this so that way all of you at the other places can see this, okay? So underneath this Research Paper Guidelines and Helpful Tools, right here where I say click here, that's the document that I was showing you, the research paper information, okay? So if you want to have that at home, you want to look at it later, that's where you find that, okay? For those of you who you kind of understand what MLA and APA are, or maybe you don't know what MLA or APA is, I have these 2 PDF files, and I'm going to click on them here so you can see them. So this is, it's going to look really wordy, okay? But this is a document that leads you step by step on how to do in-text citations and then how to set up your works cited or reference page at the end, okay? It gives you examples here. I'm just gonna zoom towards the end. So if you're citing something with a book with one author, this is how you write it. And it goes through all different kinds of options, okay, on how you do that. And then it's at the beginning of the sheet, it also shows you how to do the in-text citations, whether you use the author page number. That's what these two documents are. So those of you, when you're writing, so there's another one for APA. I'll show you what that one looks like. So if you're struggling with doing this, I know they're wordy, okay, but you can look through and figure out how to do things. And as you're working on your papers, your short essays, if you're struggling, I'm gonna refer you back to these documents saying, hey, remember those are in there, okay? That will always be available to you. There's more information here. So when you start doing your research, which you're not gonna start doing that this week, you're just focused on your paper topic, there are links to the KC webpage on how to find your sources and how to find your research, okay? Next week, is it next week that we're gonna do it? Let me look back at the course outline. No, February the 2nd. So in 2 weeks, I'm gonna go into these in more detail and show you how to look things up through EBSCO, looking for journal articles, looking for books. So I'm gonna walk you through that, but I went ahead and put the link here so that way it's all together for you in the same spot, okay? And then later down the road, when you start working on your outline before you start writing, I have some examples of that in here too. So just as a reminder, this is in week 2 under research paper guidelines and helpful tools, okay? So I know I asked this already, but any questions about any of that? Lost my people. There's my people. No? Okay. All right. So we've done that. We've talked about the research paper. Let's see, what else? So I briefly wanted to go back to chapter 1 and do a brief overview. So let me get that up for you. Move this off. Get rid of this. Let me see. So as a reminder, I put all of these Prezi presentations into Canvas as well. So if you ever miss class, it should be available to you. And if you ever have questions about that, you know I'm here to help with that too. Just a minute.